Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to MOW Time and welcome back to a beautiful day here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. This is the first day where we've actually had no rain through the day, but the rest of the week we've had a good number of showers coming through Brisbane, which has been fantastic for the lawns and gardens around Brisbane. As I always say, it's better than going through a drought, so we cannot complain about getting some rain, especially through this growth period here in Brisbane. So anyway, today we are starting a new series on the channel. It's been something I've wanted to do since I started the channel, 6 months ago or something like that. And today I thought, yep, let's start it underway, and that is doing reviews. So today will be the first video of many to come of MOW Time Reviews. So all the equipment that will be reviewed currently on the channel is not sponsored or given to me for reviews or anything like that. It is all just equipment I have purchased for my own business, and I'm just giving my genuine feedback on, once I've used it for a while, my thoughts and experiences with the particular equipment. Because pretty much every time I'm looking to purchase something, and not even just garden equipment or anything like that, in regards to anything, I'm always sort of reviewing or looking on YouTube or looking at other avenues to see reviews on the equipment. And I just thought, well, look, I'm always searching for reviews on, brush cutters or mowers or blowers or chainsaws, etc. And I think I should start doing my own reviews and getting it out there on what I think of the equipment, such as the certain products I have here, as you can see. Now, these three brush cutters here are my brush cutters in my lineup. I just work for myself. I don't have any people work for me currently. So these are just my three brush cutters that I utilize for different jobs, etc. But today, we're going to be reviewing the Stihl. The Stihl is the second newest brush cutter to my lineup. The other one was my new Bush Ranger as well, but I'll be doing a review on that in a later week. But today we're looking at the Stihl FS 94RC straight line brush cutter. So I think we might start, I've got the guard there. I think I might start with the engine to start off with. So this is a new engine that was redesigned by Stihl for emissions and easy to start, etc. And I mean, it came out in America obviously and other countries before it came to Australia, but it's quite new to Australia. And so I've been keen to try that out, and I've had this whipper about a month now, I think, so I've had quite a good use of it. And anything that I'm going to do a review on, I really want to get a number of hours of time spent with the product before I actually do a review. So starting with the engine, we've got the new easy to start Stihl engine here. Now with the 94RC, this comes in at 24.1 cc's and is approximately, I think, about 0.9 kilowatt, which equates to about 1.2 or 1.2 horsepower, I think. Plenty of grunt. Now, just bear in mind when it comes to costings, the other one I looked at was the FS 90, and that's a little bit cheaper than this one, but you're paying just the extra $50 to $80 approximately, really just for weight saving. The 90 model is a bit heavier, notably heavier than this one. So when you're holding a brush cutter all day, I just went for this one just purely because it was slightly lighter and just felt a bit more comfortable in hand for me. But again, brush cutter always comes down to personal preference. You've got to hold it in store, get the feel of it, and make sure it's comfortable in your hands, sort of thing. But that's the reason why I went the 94RC over the 90, as it was lighter and I was able to feel both in store. And so that's why I paid a little bit extra and went with the lighter one. So yeah, as I said, 24.1 cc motor and 0.9 kilowatts, so plenty of power. Now, whether you're watching this because you are starting a mowing business, already have an established mowing business, or you're just looking for a homeowner, this brush cutter is good for all avenues. So Like last week, I had a chat with a gentleman at a neighbouring property that I was doing. He was out about to start whipping his own lawn, and he had a Honda with a bench shaft, but he was much taller than me. I'm 5'10" or 5'11" or whatever, and he was well over 6 foot. And I was just watching him start to whip, and he was bent over, and I thought, oh gosh, that's not the right whipper for you. So I mentioned to him, he needs to go something straight shaft, and he was complaining about the lack of power and everything in it. Nothing but Honda, it was just a really old whipper, and it was probably just done. It was time for a newie. So I did recommend him something like this or this. Now these are commercial grade trimmers, so they do last the test of time, and they've got plenty of grunt. And even like I said, if you're just a homeowner looking for a whipper, then I would always recommend, if you can spend a bit extra money, I mean, that could be $100 or $200 or $300 more to get a commercial product, but it is far better money well spent, personally, I think, just because you've got far more power, you've got a straight line shaft, it's stronger, it's just built thoroughly and stronger to withstand more, withstand more whipping and longevity. You get a better head and all that sort of stuff in your better commercial brush cutters as well. So anyway, back to the Stihl. Sorry, just got a business message. Yep, I can. All right, so back to the engine. So we covered over the engine. I've been super happy with this engine. Mind you, in saying that, when I first bought this whipper, I was having engine problems, and I took it back to my local Stihl dealer. Engine problems in the way of it just wouldn't start. It just wouldn't start, even though I was doing the choke, priming everything correctly. I've been whipping for a long time, so I'm sure, like, I was making sure I wasn't doing anything incorrectly. This is the first Stihl product I've ever bought. I've always owned Shindowers, Kawasaki's, etc. So I just wanted to try Stihl out, just my own personal knowledge, and then also to be able to give a bit of feedback on a Stihl product on the channel as well, for those of you guys who are interested in buying Stihl. I had some problems for the first couple of weeks with this straight off the showroom floor. It wouldn't start for me, whether it was hot or cold, it didn't matter, it just wouldn't start. And then when it did start, it wouldn't rev. It didn't want to rev up at all. And that's obviously concerning, paying the $600+ for a brand new machine. So I took it back to my local Stihl center and sort of also filmed out on site one day when it kept happening to me. Because I was getting very frustrated. Thankfully I have my backup whippers, which is why we have more than one whipper. So if you have a problem with one, you've got a backup one, so you don't have to leave site or halfway through a job. You can just pull your other whipper out of the truck and keep going with your job, get it completed. Once your day is done, then you can go and sort out the issues. But yeah, so I took it back to my local Stihl dealership, and they said with the new engines that got produced, there is obviously different legal requirements making engines that come out of America in the way of compliance, in the way of emissions and everything. And so these new motors were built with like this pressurizing particular filter or something in it, and they were having a couple of issues with that. So I took it back to my local Stihl dealer, and they sort of showed me what was going on. And what was happening was the pressure was building up in the carby and then backtracking and building up in the fuel tank, and the pressure wasn't releasing. So my local dealer said, look, you need to undo the fuel tank cap and then prime it 10 times to try and get the pressure out. And I thought, well, that's, I was quite annoyed at the start because I'm like, well, this is a brand new machine, and no commercial guy who's running around mowing lawns all the time has the time to stop and do that all the time. The number one, personally for me, the number one top priority in any equipment for a professional mower guy is reliability. If you don't have reliability on your machines, it's just not a comfortable thing. You've got always worries in the back of your head thinking, oh, is this mower going to blow out? Is this brush gunner going to stop? Blah, blah, blah. And that is just a giant waste of time when you've got so many jobs on the go. But yeah, reliability is key. So that was really annoying me. So I did mention to them and just said, look, this shouldn't be a problem with a brand new product that costs this much money. And it was just an unfortunate relationship start with me purchasing my first Stihl product. And don't get me wrong, I might have just been 1 in a million. You know, this isn't all about all Stihl products. Peter at my local shop did mention, you know, this rarely ever happens. He sells hundreds of them, and they never come back. So I must have just got really unlucky and just had a bad start with my relationship with buying a Stihl product. So yeah, so I left it with them, and they replaced the carby and said come back and collect it. So I went back and collected it, and took it out, and I think I used it for a bit, but I was still having troubles, and it was getting very frustrating. And that second time I was having troubles, I ended up just recording it on my phone just to have proof of showing me starting it, not wanting to start, etc. Obviously checking everything, you know, making sure there's always clean fuel going into the machine so nothing clogs up the carby, which I'm quite, you know, particular with that, because you don't want to decrease your chances of having any issues with your machines while out at people's properties. So I took it back to my local Stihl dealer, and that got sorted out. What I think they did was they sent away and they removed or something this particular piece that doesn't have to be in the machine to be legal in Australia. And I've got the machine back, and I've had it for about 4 weeks now. So I've had 4 weeks of usage with it, and it's been running great ever since then. So I don't know, you know, whether that's just an unlucky thing for me with this product, or, you know, if there's someone out there watching this and you have had certain issues with the new Stihl easy to start engines, not particularly, you know, the FS94, if you've had problems with your blower or etc., let me know, just so I know there's other guys out there, you know, who've had this trouble as well. So yeah, it was a bit of an unfortunate start with my Stihl relationship. But yeah, otherwise now the machine is running fine, and obviously I didn't have to pay for any of those repairs. They were just done under warranty, as it was a brand new machine that I just bought and was having issues, you know, 2 days later. So anyway, so yeah, back to the machine. So now we'll talk about comfortability. So when I was sort of having a feel of each Stihl product that's recommended for commercial guys, I found personally this one to be the most comfortable. Now bear in mind, this FS94RC doesn't come with this loop handle. It comes with a different handle on it, and I just sort of said to my local dealer that I wanted this machine, I just didn't want the particular handles that were on here. They didn't have a rubberized grip like this one, and I didn't find it very comfortable in hand, and you can grip onto it really well. Even in your rainy days where it's raining, you still get really good grip, whether you wear gloves or not. I don't wear gloves, but you get a really good grip on the handle. And actually the full loop of the handle, because I do a lot of, you know, vertical cut edges, as many people do, you're able to flip it over and comfortably hold it, you know, on the side for your angled cuts, etc. You've also got this on here as well, which is a piece that turns, and that allows you to just hold that and be able to swivel it on that without moving your arm at all. So that's very handy as well. I don't use it a lot, but yeah, but it is handy for guys who, you know, do utilize it or do edges a certain way, where this is way more comfortable to be able to flip it over and do your angled edges. So yeah, now, sorry, I'll just shut my phone up. Yes, yes. Yeah, right. So yeah, so anyway, back to comfortability. I found this very comfortable. The handle in hand is fantastic, both the throttle and the handle. Now this one, I will say, the handle is slightly smaller. Now I don't have massive hands, and I don't have small hands. I guess I have moderate, medium-sized hands, but I found this one to be the most comfortable for my hand size, and that's kind of a big thing when picking your brush cutter as well, is actually holding on to them to see, you know, your particular hand size and what fits comfortable in your hand. And this Stihl handle is really comfortable. I really do enjoy it. I do actually enjoy the comfort of it a little bit more than the Bush Ranger in hand. But yeah, super comfortable in hand, a bit of a rubberized grip, so it's really good to hang on to. Yeah, and once you've moved the handle into your comfortable position for you, depending on your height, etc., then yeah, this is a really comfortable machine in hand. I do recommend it, definitely for comfort. So yeah, yeah, so that's the handle and grip, super happy with that. And then it also has your stop on top here, which again is super easy too. I mean, some guys like the Bush Ranger, they've just got a button that you push down and pull up for start and stop, and still just have a button you just push here. I mean, it is easier, but you know, you're just doing a thumb movement to stop both machines. You know, one that doesn't, 10 the other sort of thing. It doesn't really matter. This wheel next to here is your throttle control. It's not really anything I use. I just keep it at full pelt because I just control the throttle via the trigger. I was talking to my dealer about that, and he said, yeah, not really many guys here. Apparently, it's for use in places where you're doing whipping through a garden or something, etc. And you can lower the throttle so when you give it a full pelt, it won't rev up to the full rev limiter on the machine. So you're not, I guess there's less chance of damaging or hacking anything around that you don't want hacked by the whipper cord or damaged. So yeah, so that's the handle and the rubber handles. Super happy with them. I do find it a comfortable machine all over. But yeah, now what I'll also talk about, with the engine was the petrol tank. It holds 540 mils, which is pretty good. I found that, yeah, pretty good over the course of the day whipping. Mind you, I don't just whip all day. I'm, you know, doing a job, getting in the car, going to the next job, doing a job, getting in the car sort of thing. It's not just constant whip slashing all day. But yeah, definitely, yeah, petrol is noticeably pretty good. Coming from like my old Schindler, it does last a bit longer, and with the new engines Stihl have built, they have said to be far more fuel economical, which yes, they are. I definitely think they are. So yeah, definitely good on the fuel front, and it is just a two-stroke mix, like a lot of your brush cutters, just a general two-stroke mix, 50-to-1 ratio there. So yeah, that's the fuel tank and that there. So yeah, super happy with that. A thumbs up for the engine and the fuel tank. Now, we'll talk about the head now. The head on this isn't the actual one it comes with from the store. It comes with a smaller head, and I didn't particularly like that. I like the bigger heads, and I also like to be able to fit as much line in there as possible. Obviously, to decrease your you know, times you've got to go back and change the line all the time. If you can fit more whipper line in your head, then yeah, less chance of it running out. So yeah, I got this head changed to another Speedflow head they had in the store, and it's been fantastic. Just a bump feed, super easy to feed through. But yeah, I'm also got in here, the string trimmer comes with just basic Stihl 2.4 mil line, you know, which isn't bad, but it's just not the stuff I use for commercial grade. For homeowner use, I guess it's pretty good, but I just find the Trailblazer a better product. But while I was picking this up, Pete told me about the new Stihl line that has carbon fiber weave through the line. So I'm trialing that at the moment, and so far it's been really good. You do have to pay a little bit extra over the normal whipper line cord, but it has been noticeably better. It doesn't cut as easy, doesn't rip away as easy, so your line just lasts a little bit better. So I'm running the 2.4 carbon fiber line in this just to give it a go, and then give my feedback to Pete and whatnot about my thoughts on that. So yeah, but otherwise, yeah, that line's really been really good, so I recommend that. But yeah, but anyway, so just going forward too, now you will notice this is the guard for it. I don't have the guard on it because I don't run a guard on my whippers, as you can tell. If you can see the bottom of those whippers, I never have run a guard. You know, personal preference whether you do or you don't, but otherwise this guard is, you know, pretty good. I had it on for a little bit just to trial it, but again, yeah, I ended up removing it just because I just don't like having guards on my whippers, even though I get the purpose they serve. But yeah, if I was a guard person, I would say it's not bad guard, it's pretty good. It's good that it's not like the older whippers, like the old Kawasaki whippers and that. They had a big guard on there, and you just couldn't really see the head under the guard, so you couldn't really see all the time clearly what you were whipping, and that was frustrating. So the Stihl guard is only small, so it does its job in deflecting things that are whipped out, and also keeping the line you know, smaller to decrease strain on the rod on the shaft through the middle going to your engine. So yeah, so otherwise it is a good one. I just, yeah, again, it's personal preference. I don't like having a guard on my whippers, but yeah, that's the guard anyway for the Stihl product it comes with. Now, I'll talk about too, I wanted to talk about actually, because I want to show you everything that comes. You get packs with a whipper as well when you buy one. So you'll get a pack like this on really any brand product you buy and that. But I must say, Stihl do a really good pack. They really do supply you with like safety gear and stuff where, like, you know, things like Bush Ranger, the pack I got from a Bush Ranger didn't have some of the things, you know, in it that Stihl have, which, you know, could be costs or budgets or whatever, but, you know, but just to say and as note, to note that they do a really good pack for you together. So you get some safety goggles, some Stihl safety goggles in there. You get your spark plug tool, and also this little tool here, which isn't, you probably can't see that on camera, but it is a little sort of star-shaped tool. I don't know the specific name, sorry for that, but that is for all your bolts over the machine for taking or putting your guard on, etc., or having to move your handles. You also get a tiny little Stihl flathead screwdriver, which is awesome. I got one of these donkeys years ago when I was doing my small engines mechanic apprenticeship. When I left school, I got given one of these about 15 years ago or something like that, and I've had it ever since, and they're fantastic. So I got another one, which is great. Yeah, so I'll hang on to that. You also obviously get your manual. Oh, that's the manual for the head. That's the Stihl Auto Cut. There we go, Stihl Auto Cut head, and it's been great. And you get your strap, shoulder strap as well in it as well there. And then the other things in here are just your little bits and pieces for changing your heads up. So if you wanted to put the disc blade on there or something like that, it's got the attachments in there as well for that, and a bolt and whatnot. It also comes with this little rod, as you can see here, and some people see this little rod and think, what the hell do I do with this little rod? But that is for putting in the top here and locking the head in so you can take the head off, and that's what these little rods are for. I mean, you can just use a screwdriver, etc., but I mean, if there's a tool supplied for the specific job, then it's always wise to use the actual tool supplied. So yeah, I must say, Stihl do a really good job in what they supply with their little supply packet for the whipper. So yeah, I'll pack that away, and yeah, it's nice of them just to add, include some safety goggles, etc. If you don't have any, you know, on your at home yourself, then yeah, it's nice to get them in the pack. I don't use the strap just because, again, I don't do a lot of slashing or holding the whipper for like long periods of time, so I never really need the strap. You know, maybe once I get old and my shoulders blow out or something, then maybe yeah, the strap will come in handy for helping me support the whipper, etc. So yeah, so that's it. That's kind of my review. Overall, you know, the Bush Ranger is one I recently bought a couple of weeks after this one, just because my fantastic Schindauer T26, which I've had for, oh gosh, 10 years or something like that, it's not actually not broken, it's just aging, and I was just due to have new equipment upgrade sort of thing. And you know, who doesn't want to go and get themselves a new brush cutter or a new piece of equipment to try out? It's always exciting. So yeah, so I bought the Bush Ranger as well, and I'll do a review on that as well specifically. But overall, yeah, I found the Stihl fantastic, definitely worth the money. Apart from the bad start I had with it out of the shop and just having those issues with it, it didn't create a good start, like I said, or a good relationship with me enjoying Stihl products. In saying that, since that all got rectified, it has been really great. Having the Bush Ranger and the Stihl on board, I sort of use the brush cutters. I mean, they can both be used for whatever I do. It's just probably I use the Stihl more for smaller properties with like a lot of edging. Then I'll tend to pull this one out. But if I'm going to sort of a larger property that might involve a bit more slashing and etc., then I go to the Bush Ranger. The Bush Ranger though is a bigger CC motor, and it's got 2.7mm line in it instead of the 2.4. But I'll do a review on that. I just want to use that a little bit more just before I get into doing a review on that. But I used the Stihl 94 RC enough, so I thought I'd give my thoughts and takes on it. If I've left out anything, please add them in the comments below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the first review on the MOW TIME channel for MOW TIME Reviews. But yeah, I'll show you a couple of videos. I'll show you a bit of a video of me using it at a property, just a short video, just so you can see it in action. If you have any questions regarding this model or anything like that, or regarding any of the models you see, then yeah, of course, put some comments below and ask. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe by helping out the channel. I'm only quite a new channel, but I'm trying to grow and just get my knowledge and understanding, and of course my reviews out there to you guys who are just unsure about a product. And yeah, you were like me, and before wanting to pull the trigger on a $500, $600, $1,000, $2,000, $15,000 product, it's always good to get genuine reviews on the product for someone who uses it regularly and can tell you the likes, tell you the dislikes. But yeah, overall, this product has been fantastic. So if you are looking to buy one, I would recommend it, and hopefully you don't have any issues at the start like I did. But yeah, maybe I just got super lucky and I was 1 in a million with those issues at the start, but thankfully they're resolved now. So yeah, anyway, I've got to get back to mowing. So yeah, thanks for joining me today. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button if you enjoyed this first review on the channel. Like I said, there's plenty more to come. I've got some fertilizer spreader review. I've got my bush ranger to review. I've also got some fertilizers coming that I've trialed. If you're not following me on Instagram, I'm under MOW_time with 2 E's. And you can follow me on there with a few things I post from time to time. Sorry, it's very busy at the moment with lawn mowing, so I haven't had a lot of time to do much with my social media, and I have been trying to find the time to sort of do this review for you guys as well. So I'm actually going away on holidays next week. So I'm trying to get everything scrambled and get the lawns mowed, and with the rain coming through Brisbane, it's been a bit of a chaotic week, so apologies for that, and apologies for the delay in such a late video. I do try and endeavor to get a video out once a week is my goal, but unfortunately with family and business, and I'm still working at the hospital as well, I just unfortunately don't always find the time to be able to shoot a video for the week. So finally I got to do it, and I'm thoroughly enjoying them, and I hope you guys are enjoying them too. To all the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. It makes me massively happy, and I really do enjoy the support in something I love and enjoy doing, and I hope you guys love and enjoy it too. So anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend, and thanks for tuning in, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next video.